Hello! Woo-hoo. Adventure, new adventure. Okay, hold on. Before we get into today's show, I gotta do all the tech stuff. So while I'm doing that, you know the deal. Squeeze your genitals. Take a breath in, squeeze. Exhale, relax. Push it. Breathe in, squeeze. Exhale and relax. Push out. Well, welcome to another fantastic, fabulous, earth-shattering episode of My Orgasmic Life. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Gaia Morrissette. And today, a bunch of people have been asking me questions about anal lately. And I'm like, I'm sure I've had a show about anal sex, anal play. I'm sure of it. And, I went through my, roster and I realized actually I haven't done a podcast and a show for My Orgasmic Life. However, I did spend a month creating comprehensive anal for my course, Sexual Skill Building. So if you're like, so today anal is a big, big topic. And so we're just going to cover like the key points. And then if you're like, ooh, I want more, then I highly recommend taking my course, Sexual Skill Building. And I'll put the links in the show notes and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So let's start with the mindset part of anal. So often people fear that, these are the questions that I usually get. If I want anal, does that make me gay? This is if you happen to be a penis owner, right? The answer to that question is, unless you actually are attracted to men, then the answer to that question is no, right? The second thing that I get questions asked about all the time is, it's dirty and gross and it's wrong. And so there's this shame around doing something that, it's seen as taboo or dirty or bad or wrong. And my answer to that is, no, it's not. It can be unhealthy and unsafe if you don't know how to do it properly. So we're going to talk a little bit about those things. So, again, the mindset pieces, either A, go take my course, or B, come see me so that we can clear that stuff out, okay? Because pleasure is pleasure, and how you receive it, how you give it has no bearing on whether it's right or wrong, as long as there's doing no harm to yourself or others. Okay, so that's the foundation of everything that I work from and teach from. All right, so that's the big things about mindset. The second thing is there might be trauma. So often people have had bad anal experiences because they didn't do what I'm going to teach you in a second. And because they didn't do that, it teared, it hurt, it created fissures, there's all sorts of problems. It was not a pleasant experience. And because it wasn't a pleasant experience, they're carrying that trauma, and that trauma is sitting in and resting in their bodies. So they can't relax. It's not a pleasurable experience, okay? So again, if there's trauma, call me, let's clear it out. All right, so let's get into some of the safety features of anal play. So safety feature number one that you must always be aware of. Do not cross-contaminate. So anything that goes in the bum stays only in the bum. It doesn't go into the mouth. It doesn't go into the vagina. It doesn't go into the ear or the nose. It doesn't go into any other hole other than the butthole. And if you want to put whatever that is, whether it's a finger, a penis, a toy, a butt plug, whatever it is, okay, that you put into the anus, you must wash it thoroughly with soap and water and clean it properly. If it's a toy, I highly do not recommend ever putting a butt plug or a butt toy from a butt, even when you've washed it really well, into a vagina. It will knock off the ecosystem, right? You can get E. coli. You can get really sick, all right? So the bacteria that lives in the anus is there in the anus, and the bacteria that lives in the vaginal canal is in the vaginal canal. They should not cross-contaminate, right? So that's a really good rule, okay? Just whatever's in the butt stays in the butt. Don't put it anywhere else. Okay, so that's one thing, really important. The second thing that's super important when we're dropping into anal is that we need to talk about some, safe sex stuff. So you want to make sure that you always have a condom on if you have a penis. You want to make sure if you're doing any fingering exploration in the bum, that you're wearing gloves. You want to make sure that you are, if you're going to do any rimming, that you have a barrier between your tongue and the anus, which you can use. You can cut up the side of a glove, open it up, and go blah, and have a good time with the rimming. If you're like, what is rimming? It's where you are licking the outside of the anus with your tongue. Again, you want to make sure that there's a barrier there, because otherwise you can get very ill and very sick. All right, so those are the big pieces. The next big piece is lube. Lube is your friend. Oh, so let's go back to the glove actually for a second here. Is that you want to wear a glove for a couple different reasons. One, you don't want to get anything under your fingernails. Two, you don't want to have any hangnails that can cut and tear and create an anal fissure. Three, you do not, because the anus doesn't produce its own lube, you don't want the fingers and the skin to absorb the lubricant. Okay, so those are the three reasons, those are the top three reasons why you want to, and then of course, transitions of, STIs and stuff like that, okay? All right, what else? Okay, lube. Let's go to lube. Lube. Lube is your friend. You cannot have enough lube. When you think you have enough lube, you can still put more lube on, all right? Lube it up. You can find different types of lube. You can find specifically for anal play, it tends to be thicker. I don't recommend silicone lube because sometimes that doesn't work well with condoms, depending on what type of condoms you're using. Sometimes that doesn't work well with if you're going to be using toys like a butt plug. So I wouldn't recommend silicone lube. I would recommend an anal water-based lube. Coconut oil is okay if you are if you are fluid bonded and tested and all that kind of stuff with your significant other. But coconut oil will break down condoms. So again, not safe sex. We want to be extra vigilant when we're having any anal play because unlike other orifices in the body, even if you don't feel it, there can be slight tearing in the anal cavity. And so because of that slight tearing, we are then more susceptible to getting infections. HIV, hepatitis, like there's some, big ones, major ones. So you really want to make sure that you are barrier protected, meaning condoms, gloves, these kinds of things, always. And so if you use coconut oil, it's going to break down that barrier protection. So unfortunately for all of us au naturel people, that doesn't work very well. All right. Now, the thing is, I just want to share another quick little trick that with lube, once you've put the lube on, you can go spritz, spritz. And once you spritz, spritz, it rehydrates your lube. So you don't have to keep adding lube. So that's another convenient piece of enjoying the experience. Okay, now, prep. You can do anal douching or anal enemas to get yourself ready an hour before you're going to have, some anal lovin'. Now, that's great, and that'll help clear out, some stuff in the track. But let's just be honest. It's, you can't prevent poop from being in the spot where poop is. That's right. I said poop. Let's all giggle. Hee hee hee. Poop. Say it with me. Poop. All right. So it needs to be something that you're like, okay, I'm like, it's this is how we move with this, right? And so your preparation before you're going to have anal play has a lot to do with whether it's traumatic or not. So, make sure that you're kind of on a towel, and make sure that you have wipes and everything set up right beside you so that you can just pull out whatever it is, toy, penis, finger, with gloves, take the gloves off, put them in the, it's all easily disposable and clean up so that you can move to the side. That's an important piece, right? You get that stuff. And then it's fantastic, right? The next thing is, so that's, again, this is a big topic, so I'm kind of going through it quickly. If you want more, take my course where it goes comprehensively into it. When it comes to anal play, you want to actually stretch things out, and you want to do it really slowly. So if somebody's never had any anal experiences, they have a little virgin asshole, you're not going to want to put a penis or a penis-sized like toy in the anus, because there's a whole bunch of stuff you need to learn to the person needs to learn to relax, to take it slow, to feel, to enjoy the sensations and experience the sensations. So it's really important that you don't, and this is why most people have anal trauma, is because people just jam it in there. Just jam stuff in there. And it doesn't work the way that other orifices in our bodies do. So I highly recommend getting used to and accustomed to doing anal training before you go into actual full-on anal sex, whether that's with a strap-on, a penis, a toy, but that you just kind of start with an anal plug, a butt plug. This is a nice small one, right? And and how we insert anything into the anus, this is important. Okay, so here's a bum hole. Here's our sphincter and our anus. Okay, well, let's see how you can see it. There we go. See it? There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay? Now, you just you put your lube on there, you rub your finger around that, because there's all sorts of nerve endings that are quite pleasurable, and there's lots of, sexy orgasmic possibilities here, right? All right, and then, you basically just put the toy at the entry point. You don't push it, you don't apply any pressure, you just rest it there. Now, the person whose ass it is going to take a deep breath in, they're going to squeeze their Kegels, they're going to exhale, and they're going to relax, and you're still not pushing. The asshole will grab it when it's ready. When it's fully ready, it will grab it and it will pull it in. It'll grab it and it'll pull it in. It'll grab it and it'll pull it in. You didn't actually, you just applied constant pressure. You didn't push. So that's important to understand. You also want to make sure that you want to start, like I said, start with a butt plug and just leave it in. And once it is in, then go about some other sexy play so that you get, whether that's, masturbation, whether that's, intercourse, whatever it is that you guys are doing, right? With whatever parts you got, all right? You continue to explore and play and have pleasure, but don't focus on what's happening in the ass. This is just like it's in, now just surrender and release and let go into it, okay? Once this is really kind of gets in quite comfortably and it feels quite comfortable, then you can upgrade in size. So we got another one that's a little bit bigger, right? And then we got another one that's, this is like the third size that's, bigger, right? This will help you. Here are little anal. They kind of look like little dudes. So everybody who's listening and not watching me, I'm showing you what a butt plug is. So let's talk through it a little bit. So for all of my listeners that can't see me. So an anal plug or a butt plug, there's a couple of features that you're looking for. You want a small size, and you make sure that the base is larger, much larger than the widest part of the butt plug. And ideally, they come in, there's two kinds of different shapes for the base. There's either a circle, or there is kind of like, I don't know what we call that, like an oval. You want the oval one because it's just easier, it stays in better, especially if you're having any kind of other play with it and you don't have to think about it. It just stays there better because your butt crack can close around it. Your butt cheeks can close around it. Size-wise, you want to think about it as like, okay, we got 1 finger size, then we can have like the width of 2 fingers and maybe the length of, up to your index finger or your middle finger, and then then you can go a little bit longer and a little bit wider for the third. But when you buy an anal training kit, they usually have those 3 sizes, so you can purchase those. Let's see. Anybody have any questions? Let's open it up to the floor for a second here. Wow, out of control. All right, I got no questions? Right on. That means I'm doing a really good job. Yay me. The other thing I want to say is that the G region, the G spot, like in the vaginal canal for penis owners, is your your G spot, and the only way you can access it is through the anus. So this is another reason why being not just experiencing and giving anal, but also receiving anal is quite pleasurable and can be quite epic. So really moving through your shit around your mindset about, does that make me gay? Does that not make me gay? You're missing out if you're preventing yourself from going there because you think that means that you might be gay. All right. So, like I said, this is a big topic. There's many more things like how to douche, there's so many more things to learn. But if you're really wanting to explore it, like I said, I did a whole part of my comprehensive course of sexual skill building, the nuts and bolts of sex. That's where you can really lean into the course and to really lean into anal play and exploration and how to do it and how to talk with your partner and all of those pieces. So I'll put the link in, and for this, I'll actually give because I feel like lots of love right now. So I'm going to put a discounted rate for everybody who listened to this anal podcast. You're going to get like a huge savings of like $500 to take the course. Okay. Because I want to help you out. Right? hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you were inspired. I hope you're, feeling like, oh, maybe it's okay for me to explore some anal exploration, or, I'm excited about exploring some anal exploration. You can follow me under all the social media platforms under Gaia Morrissette and Empress Gaia. For all of your sexual wellness needs, you can find me at succulentliving.com. For all your BDSM needs, you can find me at empressgaia.com. For, of course, if you are not, you need to follow my podcast, and you can get my podcast, which is called My Orgasmic Life. That can be found on all of your favorite platforms. Sorry, I got an itchy nose here. So Spotify, Apple, Google, Spreaker, I'm everywhere. And we also have our own app, so you can download from the Google Play Store. And all you do is go to the Google Play Store and you download My Orgasmic Life. And then you can have me all the time at the click of one button. Who doesn't want to have me with them all the time? And listening to this love. And I think that's all things. Yep. Oh, and if you really are enjoying this experience, you can, and you want to engage with me more, and you want to get bonus content and exclusive offers and exclusive all sorts of juicy stuff, and then, please join my Patreon page, where you can support me and you can get some extra juicy interaction with me. So that will also be in the show notes. All right, that's it. That's all. Have a juicy day, and may it be filled with pleasure. Mwah! Bye-bye.